Hello students, welcome back. Today's video is for class 7th and we will start a new topic in English language, that is verbs. Now, what is verb? Now the first thing that comes to our mind when we say verb is that verb is an action word, but it does more than just showing actions. Now basically a verb is the most important part of a sentence. It is a word which says about a subject in a sentence. Now verbs tell us what a person does. Abhinav plays the guitar. So here in the sentence we get to know that the subject, that is Abhinav, is playing guitar. So it's basically an action verb. What a person is. That his father is very happy today. So here the verb is to show being, how you are, like the emotion. What a person or thing has. Lalita has very long hair. So here the verb shows possession. The state in which a person or thing is. Karishma knows how to knit. So if you've noticed, the first example here, it is showing action verb. The second one is the verb to be of how the person is and the possession. The last one, if you see, Karishma knows how to knit. Now here it's not actually showing action, nor is it showing a state of being or possession. Hence it is put into the category of non-action verb. Now verb is further divided into finite and non-finite verbs. What is non-finite verb? Sorry, what is a finite verb? A finite verb has a subject and shows tense. Now these are the two most important things when you have to identify the finite verb. So it has a subject and shows tense. It immediately follows the subject. A verb requires an object to complete its sense is called as a finite verb. So without the subject, the verb wouldn't make any sense. So it needs a subject to make sense in the sentence. Hence it is called as finite verb. Let us look at a few examples. Now like I said, before we go on to the examples, there are two most important things when we have to identify the finite verb. The first one is you have to find the subject. In a sentence given, you need to find what the subject is. And the second most important thing that you have to identify is whether you can change the tense. So if it fits in these two rules, then you can put it into the category of finite verb. Now, we have an example here. Sheetal helps other children. Now, when you get a sentence like this, the first thing that you need to do in order to find out the subject is ask the question to yourself, that is, who helps other children? Who is the subject? The answer is Sheetal. Hence, that becomes subject. What does the subject do? The subject helps. Hence that becomes the verb, the main verb. Whom does the subject help? Now we know we have a subject, we have a verb, but we need to find out whether there is an object in the sentence or not. So whom does the subject help? So the subject helps children. So we have the object, we have the subject, we have the main verb, and we have the object to make the sentence sensible and to complete the entire sentence. Now the second rule that I told you is we need to see whether it changes its tense. So help can change to will help or helped. Hence it fits into the rules to be called as a finite verb. Now let us understand what is a non-finite verb. It's obvious that we know that is opposite to finite, therefore it is non-finite. But how do we identify non-finite verb? A verb that does not require an object and makes complete sense by itself is called an non-finite verb. There is slight error here. Alright? So, some of the examples are, she spoke softly. Who spoke softly? She. Now remember, we don't always use proper nouns. Sometimes we use the common or the pronouns. Okay? So she, what is the verb? She spoke softly. Whom did she speak? We don't know. So we know that there is a subject, we know there is a verb, and that makes sense. And we do not need an object. Hence, we can term it as non-finite verb. In the second example, the old man ate slowly. So we know who ate. The old man ate slowly. So we have the subject and we have the verb, and we do not need an object. Hence we can term it as non-finite verb. Same with the third example. Girls read daily. Alright, so we have the subject, we have the verb. Now students, just pause the video here and try to read these three phrases that I put up. My parents have, teacher is, the son will. Does it make any sense? It won't, because it does not have a verb. It only has the subject and the helping verb. Hence, it does not make any sense. Now let us look at the other set. My parents visit, teacher teaches, the sun shines. So here's some word, it makes sense. Teacher teaches, the sun shines, my parents visit. That is because we have a subject and we have the main verb. Here we do not have verb, that's why it does not make sense. Let us look at the combination of the two. My parents have visited the school. So we have the subject, we have the helping verb, that is have, we have the main verb, that is visited, and we have the object, that is the school. So who? My parents. What did they do? They visited. What did they visit? The school. So the sentence is complete. So we have the subject, we have the helping verb, we have the main verb as well as the object. Same with the next sentence. The teacher is teaching in the class. Who is teaching? The teacher. What is she doing? She's teaching. Where? In the class. So we have the subject, the helping verb, that is, the main verb, teaching, and the object, that is in the class. The sun will shine. The sun will shine. So I have given you all three examples where I have highlighted the words, that is the helping verb and the main verb. There are three more sentences given. Let's try to solve those. He was standing under a tree. Who is standing? He. What is he doing? Was becomes the helping verb. He's standing where? Under a tree. The next one, I am brushing my teeth now. Who is brushing? I am. Okay, so am becomes the helping verb. What is I doing or the subject doing? Brushing. What? My teeth. So here the sentence is complete. When we have a subject, then we have helping verb, the main verb and the object, the sentence becomes complete whole. So the next last one, we were cleaning our utensils. Who was cleaning? We. Verb becomes the helping verb. What are we doing? Cleaning. What are we cleaning? Utensils. So this is a basic example of how you need to identify your subject, your helping verb, your main verb and the object. Now, this is going to be the case of finite verb. when it comes to non-finite verb, you may not have this kind of sentences. Rather, you will have something like this. Okay, he sings. Who? He. We have the subject. What does he do? He sings. What he sings, we do not know. So we do not have an object. So we don't need an object when it comes to non-finite verb. Without the help of the object, the verb can make sense. It makes sense. He sings, Sita runs, I walk, Suresh comes, Mohan sleeps, they walk. So it makes sense. You do not need an object there. My brother posted the letter. So we have the subject. What did he do? He posted what? The letter. That could be a sentence that has subject, it has a verb, it has the object. But the second sentence, the window pane broke. What broke? The window pane. So that becomes a subject. But what happened after that? It broke and there's nothing after that. We don't have object. Hence, that would be a non-finite verb. Students, I have given 3 more, which I want you to identify and name it whether it's finite verb or non-finite verb. So, coming to the exercise. So, here's your homework. Try to understand what finite verb and non-finite verb is. How to identify the subject, the object, the helping verb, the main verb and the non-finite verb. And try to do this exercise. This is your homework. Complete the sentence with suitable verbs from the box. So I've given you all 5 verbs which you need to pick and fit into the right sentence. So I've given you all 5 sentences. They dashed 2 tickets for a play at the Rajan Theatre. So what would fit in here? They billed 2 tickets? No. They narrated 2 tickets? No. They lost 2 tickets? No. They booked 2 tickets? Yes. So I've given you all the answer of the first sentence. Try to find out the other 4. The second exercise for you is identify the subject, the finite and non-finite verb from the following sentences. So I've given you all 6 sentences. Find out what is the subject, what is the helping verb in the sentence, what is the finite verb, the non-finite verb. So students, with this we come to the end of the video. This was about the verbs and the different verbs that we have, that is finite and non-finite. Also, it is very important that you understand how to pick out and identify these 3 things from the sentence. I hope you've understood. Thank you.